For the past few days, hashtag MeToo has been popular on the internet, especially in social media networks like Facebook and Twitter. What surprised me was the number of stories, and more importantly, the women who posted it. Before I come and talk about these women and who posted these stories, I want to talk about this generic issue. Whenever we read newspapers about women being molested or harassed, we say we empathize with the scenario, but honestly, beyond a certain point, we do not. So why do we do not take them seriously? There are some of my these are some of my observations. There might be many more. Okay, these are the ones on top of my head. First is that partly because the victim is a nobody to us. Hence, we do not get attached to the issue emotionally. To consider this, and only for the sake of an example, consider such an event happens to someone we care about considerably, such as family members or friends. Second issue is that our lives are pretty busy. In the race of life, it genuinely becomes hard to concentrate on these issues of some unknown stranger when one's own plate is full. Third, there are misogynists, men and women, alright, who would always point that the fault is with the victim and not with the tormentor. Diffusion of responsibility. Give responsibility to one person and that person has to act on it. Give a responsibility to a group and eventually the responsibility diffuses and no one person is there to take the blame. And fifth one is the normalization of issues. Believing that is how the world is, we can't change it, and this is the new normal, etc. Those are some of the issues. Now, there are many more points over here. There are many more issues, reasons for which we might be very insensitive or not taking these issues seriously. But the point being is we have enough excuses to distance ourselves from such a sensitive issue. All of us have a virtual bubble around us, and this bubble is designed to keep us safe. What is the bubble made out of depends on who you are. While it keeps us safe, many times it can distort our perception of reality. Just like how the world looks green when we wear a green glass, this bubble that protects us, which is made by what we are, helps us to see the world as we like to see it. So, coming back to the hashtag MeToo stories, the number of women posting hashtag MeToo with or without a story is rather unsettling and baffling. Some of these women are people I admire for their wits, honesty, achievements, character, outlook towards the world, and so on and so forth. What is even more unnerving is some of these women are people I know considerably well and never knew that they had such terrible incidences in their past. Not incredible, terrible. I do not know about you all, but certainly my horizon has expanded. I believe that women get harassed frequently, but never had any incidences to make it my point until today. What we see and hear is barely a scratch on the surface, the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. When I see each and every hashtag MeToo status, all I see are brave souls who are silently fighting a war. My respect goes to you, ladies, and my heart goes to all the victims. You brave souls remind me of brave soldiers trapped in a war. Sometimes when a group of demoralized soldiers are fighting for their lives and cornered by their enemies, it is hard to be brave. It is rather easy to surrender than to die, until one soldier takes a stand. This soldier who takes a stand may be doing it because of bravery or patriotism or courage or pure lunacy. But usually it is a mix of all of this. All it takes for this platoon of demoralized soldiers is that one insane rebel who knows that the decision he or she takes is foolish and total madness. But the beauty of this scenario is that one's madness is the source of others' passion. Following this rebel, everyone shouts their war cry and joins the battle and fight to the end. For these demoralized soldiers, winning is not the key. Survival is. I don't see the difference between such soldiers and you all, except a soldier's war ends when he or she dies or the war ends. But you all, on the other hand, fight day in and day out. So what can we do? The first step towards resolving any problem is to acknowledge that there is a problem. For that, people need to come out and let it out in the open. For that to happen, we have to be vulnerable enough to let this virtual bubble break. This is no simple issue, granted. There are several phases to it. Right from the social rules that form the very fabric of our society to the way we unknowingly differentiate and discriminate children based on gender, this problem, like many other issues, can only be solved systematically, and the motion happens only slowly. And that requires us to revisit our belief system, our outlook about the world, and even deeper introspection of ourselves. More importantly, after mulling over these issues and figuring out the due course of action, aligning ourselves and abiding to such actions is crucial. That will make a difference. Some changes we make in our lives can go a long way. These are some things that I can think of that can make a big difference. So I'm listing out 7 points, but these are not restricted to 7, there are many more. Number 1. Do not judge people or make a prejudice based on what you see and hear. It's easy to judge, but harder to understand. Second, no means a no, period. Third, whenever someone comes to confide to you about such issue, take it seriously and be supportive. And most importantly, listen actively. Number 4, treat people as equals. Many, not all the issues, but many of the issues of women are because we treat them as objects or property or lesser beings. Ostracizing, shaming, stereotyping are not the ways to resolve the problem. Raising a stern voice and action if encountered. Number 6. Interact with more women and have discussions on such taboo topics and hear their sides out. It is educational and enlightening. As a 7th point, and this is more importantly, teach children about them as they grow up. And for that, we need to be a better version of ourselves. The point being, there are many more of these issues. We need to start somewhere. And with the world progressing, we have to address several more issues. And there are a lot of issues happening on the world. This is one of the things that we need to address. For all those brave souls out there who posted hashtag #MeToo, this is my response. Hashtag I am with you. Hashtag I am with you. Thank you.